Hello everyone, and welcome to another one of my tutorials in the How to Draw Manga Boys series. Today we're going to draw a boy's face in side view. So this boy is basically going to have super spiky hair. We're going to have long spikes down the front and then it fanning out in the back like a giant flame. So let's start with the basic outline. This will show us how big the hair will be and where it's going to end up. So let's start with the front of the head and draw a big flame shape very much above his head. I'm going to lower it a bit because I don't like drawing too close to the top of the page. So, I like that shape for the main body of the hair. Of course, we always have a wisp back here. So add that in. We have the spike on this side and the one on this side. Now let's erase what will be covered by the hair, which is the head. You know what? For such a wild character, let's give him some wild eyes. This time, instead of having the top line slanting down, we're going to have it slanting up. Already he looks a lot tougher. Let's make the eyebrow bigger and come down a lot more. And as always, the eyelid. Okay, he looks a lot older and a lot tougher. Now, as I said, this hairstyle is going to be really spiky. So then, what's with all of these smooth lines? Let's go in and make it spiky. So, this is where the hair has been parted, so this is where the main lines will be coming from. This also shows us how the spikes are going to appear. Like this, and like this. Okay, for a little variety, we're not going to have all of the hair come out that long. Hairstyles can be really interesting when you add a lot of variety. So, since the back of his head is right here and his hair comes out this far, that would give him really, really long hair if it was down. So we might want to cut some of that off a bit. Okay, now we have the true length of the back. Let's go ahead and look at the spikes on the front. I'm going to erase this origin point guideline. Okay, so the hair up here dips down to the part and then comes back up to the spikes. The spikes will originate at this part and come up and then come down. So this spike on the other side, you can't see where it reaches the part, but it's there. It will be doing the same thing. The spike of hair will fall partially in front of the eyes. Anybody else get the feeling that he looks a little bit like Link? Oh well. Make some individual strands pointing in different directions for variety's sake. And this is the cool part, to show that we're seeing the underside of the hair right here as it comes up from the part. draw a hoop and draw curved lines underneath it. Okay. You gotta be quiet. So now we'll erase that top part and keep refining these lines until they match the curve of the lines down here. Then we erase that thing at the bottom, refine a little bit more. Yeah, it's possible to refine too much, but I don't think we have yet. And there we have strands of hair underneath the main spike. This shows where it attaches to the head. We can do some jagged lines to show that too, and that's a nice touch. Now let's work on this small front spike. This covers up his forehead in really unplanned, crazy lines. So basically, you can't really go wrong with these front spikes. It just fell down from the top of his head randomly. So there's not much order here in the first place. Let's have one spike sticking straight out, because he is really wild. You can already tell that. Okay, now for the spike back here, just draw some curved lines going along with this main curve, and we will also draw, I'm going to try to fit in one coming straight out without having it clash with the nose back there. Okay, that works. I'm going to draw another piece of hair back there, just a small sort of hill in front of this valley, quote unquote. So that is the front of his hair. It's pretty elaborate, but it's made up of basic shapes and a lot of wisps. I should just go in my tutorial saying that over and over. Make it wispy, add a lot of wisps. Wisp, wisp, wisp. It's a tongue twister. Okay, let's work with this area of hair. This could actually be sort of tricky. This part that falls in front of the ear, only this time it's not actually falling in front of the ear, it's combed back from behind the ear. So let's select where that main thing will be happening, this sort of hoop thing in front of the ear, and then we will make another flame shape, a mini one, that goes down more than the top one. And this is the direction that the parts of hair, the strands of hair, will be taking there. Also, it'll be going down more and more. So let's just make basic lines from that. This also will have a jagged line like this, because this is hair combed back. This jagged line represents the hairline, so let's just do a jagged line down the whole thing. Okay, now we erase most of these guidelines, enough so we can still see it, but we don't want it to be there so much that we can't comfortably draw over it. And just start making curved lines that match what we drew, but that don't match each other too much. Like, don't spell everything out. Don't draw lines for each individual piece of hair. Shake things up a little. Even have some strands that are out of place. All of these details add to how full of life the hair looks and how realistic it is. So some of these we can actually trace back to the back of the hair over here. So now that's that area of the hair. Let's make another flame shape right here, and another one of those marks there. So these will show us what direction the lines are taking here as they come out from the roots. So let's draw in some lines here. It's really going to look like a great big bonfire when all is said and done. Okay, now to erase these other lines and see what we have left. I want to add another right here. Okay, time for the bottom one. Apply the same principle. Make sure there are not a lot of the same sort of lines. That looks a little bit like a fox's tail, don't you think? Like a big fluffy foxtail. We don't want this back thing to have too much body because it's just a thin bit of hair coming off from the back, and we also don't want a line separating it from the main part of the hair over there. So let's clean it up. For variety, we'll put a curved line in the other direction and clean it up still more. Okay, time for the main strands. These will just follow the curves we've already placed out. So just go along and every now and then add a spike. That's pretty much all there is to it. So just keep adding spikes. And I'll erase some of these guidelines just because I like having a clean picture to work with. Don't forget to add some spikes in the middle here. Not too many, but enough so that it looks even throughout the whole picture. So I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to go through and do some shading now. Okay, that is it for this tutorial. I hope this video was helpful to you guys. I think I'm actually improving. Let me know in the comments, but my first video on how to draw a boy's face in side view was really badly done. So I hope that I have learned, because it's been a year since I made that video, so hopefully I actually learned something. Yeah, I like how the hair turned out. I get the feeling that I didn't really teach how to do that. But if you guys think that I should do a more elaborate video on boy hairstyles, let me know in the comments and I will get to work on that. But back to what I was saying before, thank you again for watching this video, and go check out the other videos on my channel. I've got a whole lot of cool stuff going on right now, and you guys might enjoy it. In fact, I'm pretty sure you would. So check it out, and thank you everyone who supports me by watching my videos, liking, commenting, subscribing. It has really motivated me to improve my art. So again, thank you, have a great day, and I will see you in my next video.